Welcome back to Pet Nation on Sky 1 HD. We've only got one rule here. If it's got pets involved, then we're involved. Deal with it.
Tonight's first guest loves animals. He loves them roasted, grilled, or in a bun. It's Antony Worrall Thompson and Rodney the Retriever.
Hey, let's just see how these guys are squaring up. He's got an arch enemy at home, Wilfred, who is a golden retriever, but not as pretty as Rodney. Now, my lord, how often do you get invited onto a show to discuss your pets?
Pretty rarely, actually.
He is gorgeous. I mean, did you always have pets when you were a kid?
Just cats.
Oh, really?
All our cats seem to last forever. My mother's cat was called Bianca, and lasted well into its 20s. I've just lost one last year. It was 27.
I'm sorry.
So...
Actually, let's just recap. They're 27. Is that a hell of an age for a cat?
I know. I think the British record was 29. We were thinking whether we should get him stuffed and put him in a rocking chair and...
Well, we did...
The stuff of dreams.
We have a picture. It's probably better than the stuffed one. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to ask you about pigs. You keep them, but not quite as pets, do you?
Yeah, we had one called Doris as a pet. It was rejected by Mum, and Doris was bred in the house and used to walk down the lane with us, and actually was more highly trained than any dog. You would stick to your heel, and people would walk along and think it was some little dog, and then suddenly they'd go...
Hello.
Can I really see a pig? Obviously, they get huge, you know. They can get up to 500 pounds, so you don't have them in the house after sort of about 4 or 5 months.
But what interests me is that all your animals seem to have had human names.
Yeah, I know. Rodney, Trevor was the last retriever. Nigel was the cat. I was in between marriages. I used to say I lived with Nigel because I wasn't interested in any other women at the time.
Tongues wagged.
That's right. Ever since then, we've always called them, you know, human names.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Do you have chickens?
Chickens, they're not quite as affectionate, I have to say. In fact, one of them pecked my daughter, and shows how practical my children are, because she said, "I want that one for tea."
Easy decision, yeah. That's quite good. And do you have any funny ways of talking to the animals? For example, is there a particular voice you might adopt with Rodney, for example?
No, my kids are. Oh, it's Rodders, Rodders.
Rodders.
Come on, Rodders.
Oh, look, he likes
Rodders,
that.
Come on, Rodders. It works,
then, doesn't
it?
Hey, Rodders.
There you go, Rodders.
Do you feed your dogs anything in particular, or are you very much a dry food, maybe a bit of a combo?
I'm a mixture. I do think dogs are carnivores, and I'm not really one to turn them into vegetarians. So I tend to cook a stew, but I put loads of rice and vegetables in there as well. So it is a proper. I mean, we could
feast,
eat it.
but yeah, no, absolutely. Well, why not? If it was good food.
Yeah, they love it.
Well, it's very interesting that you cook for your pets, because so does our next guest. Let's meet her. Please welcome Stephanie Mahana. Hello, love. Well, it's very exciting. What are you doing for us?
I'm going to be making pasta bark, which is a nutritious, balanced midweek supper for your dog.
These presumably are the ingredients.
That's right. What we're trying to do with pasta bark is to actually get some vegetables and fruit into the dog's diet. So what I've done is I've just cooked some carrots and some beans there. So, Anthony, if you wouldn't mind just chopping those up for me.
OK.
This could just be sort of leftovers from a roast or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any type of vegetable, as long as they're finely chopped.
OK.
Finely, is it?
Fine, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't get staff these days. We're going to add them into the pasta bark.
OK.
I've got some brown rice pasta here, so it's good for dogs with allergies, but also it gives your dog a break from wheat.
Because, of course, most of the dry foods do contain quite a lot of wheat.
Absolutely, yes, and it isn't a natural ingredient that you'd find in your dog's diet.
Well, they bleach it, don't they? So it can cause stomach problems.
Yes.
And you know what? You know what else is not good for a dog is avocados.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Avocados can cause problems with lungs and heart. It has an ingredient called a persin in it, so...
A persin?
Yeah.
Also, I heard tomatoes. Is that true?
Yes, tomatoes as well, but they're not the inside of the tomato.
It's the skin.
The skin, yes.
The skin and the vine on them. Yeah.
I say tomato.
Yeah.
You say tomato.
Let's call the whole thing rough. Do you see comedy coursing
The jokes
through
are just flying through the ether.
I know. Stop me, I'm on fire.
I'm just going to add in some turkey.
OK, sorry.
I'm using the dark meat from the turkey. That's because it has more protein than the breast meat. So you want thighs or drumsticks, that kind of thing.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm going to add some cottage cheese.
You surprised me with cottage cheese.
Yeah, you do me.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't normally feed your dog cheese, but cottage cheese is the exception.
OK.
So we can feed them that. It's full of protein and calcium, so it makes a nice...
and the other cheese would be too heavy in saturated fats?
And too salty as well.
Salty,
too
okay.
salty. I'm going to add some dried apricot now.
OK.
So this is getting a little bit of fruit into the diet. If you want to put your veg in there.
Okay.
This is all beginning to look rather delicious.
Well, I hope you're going to try it when it's all cooked.
Yeah, of course I am.
I've got some yoghurt here. It's a great probiotic, good for the gut, good for digestion. So we're just going to add that in. OK, and so lastly, I'm just going to add a sprinkle of brewer's yeast. Really good for B vitamins and replacing thiamine, which is something that dogs can use if they have a deficient diet at all. So we're just going to put a sprinkle of that in. But we can still see the vegetables in there, and the dogs will still be able to find them.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to disguise them in my feta sauce, which is why we've got the chicken liver here. So if you can just pop that in the blender for me. And I'm going to add in here 1 cup of turkey stock. That's just what I cooked the turkey in earlier, but you could just use water.
Yeah.
OK, so that's all we need to do. We've got our feta sauce in there, and we're just going to add some of that.
Feta sauce.
Feta sauce,
Is
after
that
my
one
Irish
of your
feta.
name,
Yeah, after my Irish
connection.
feta. OK, so that's our pasta bark ready to go. We're going to put it into a little muffin tin. So this gives us nice portions, so we can freeze those afterwards and we can just get those out. So
how long do these bake for?
that's going to go into the oven, 200 degrees for about 15 minutes.
OK.
OK. So I'll just pop that one in the oven, thank you. And we can get our pasta bark out, because it's television and therefore it's already done.
Magic.
OK.
Hey, Rodney, you're in for a treat.
We're just going to lift that out. One of those in there, and we'll put a couple in there. And you can see it's going to freeze lovely, so you can just put them into freezer bags and just use them 2 or 3 portions at a time.
Is Rodney going to like this, do you think?
Well, we'll try, shall we?
Hey, Rodney,
Put it down there. Bring it around the front so we can see him.
Come on, Rodney.
check this out, Rodney.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Hey.
Ooh, what's that?
Hey, what's he getting? My God! Yeah.
I think it's a hit.
Great.
I think it is a hit.
Now, if you'd like to get this recipe, please go to our website, sky.com/petnation. Anthony's sticking around for a little while, but thank you now for Stephanie Mahana. Thank you, Stephanie.
In the bird world,